I can't speak for any of my subscribers, but I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. It's not my place to push my faith onto anyone, and I love my brothers and sisters who adhere to other religions, whether it be Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, or whatever the case may be, even the complete lack of religion, as I had for most of my life. I believe the gates to salvation are wide open. The church and the state must forever be separate. But at the same time, we as individuals owe it to ourselves, or at least I think it is in our best interest, to be grounded in some way, to have something higher be that beacon to which we can look up. That is not to say that you need religion to be good, or that everyone who is religious is good. In fact, we have seen the opposite. And whatever that beacon is, whatever name you give it, hold on to it. Make that the rock upon which you live your life. But these beacons become tarnished when we distort them to excuse our prejudices, and they take on the function of dark, not light. Such an example would be when the so-called Christian right rails against gender-affirming care, same-sex marriage, reproductive health care, or using the instruments of government to lift up those who need help. I take immense issue with the right's hijacking and monopolizing of Christianity, as if they have some unique claim to it, as if they alone are worthy to speak the word of God. The Christ I know is love personified, God here on earth, in the flesh, ready to live and die as one of us. He was not here to judge us based on what we are, white or black, gay or straight, cisgender or transgender, old or young, able-bodied or disabled. He was here to judge us based on what we do, subjugating one another, oppressing one another, lying to one another, hurting and killing one another. The right claims Jesus as one of their own. To counter, we, the left, should claim Jesus as one of our own. This is a guy who multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fish to feed 5,000 people, with enough left over to fill 12 baskets. And people could go back for seconds, even thirds. In Matthew chapter 19, he says that it is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go to heaven. Earlier in the same book, he said, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." And when he cured a man of leprosy, did he ask for a copay first? And while the Bible teaches us to love our neighbor, it also stirs us to action in standing up for our fellow man in defense against oppression. Again, in Matthew chapter 23, he condemns the Pharisees who, in his own words, tie up heavy, cumbersome loads and put them on other people's shoulders, but they themselves are not willing to lift a finger to move them. He said that they have, quote, neglected the more important matters of the law, justice, mercy, and faithfulness. He also calls them hypocrites. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like anyone dominating political discourse today? Now listen, at the era in which the Bible was written, predated modern day capitalism. Jesus did not know who Adam Smith or Karl Marx would grow to become and the impact they would have on our world. The times then did not call for the proletariat taking a stand against the bourgeoisie in the context of trying to institute a socialist state. But we do know this. Jesus was a revolutionary. If he had been another run-of-the-mill establishment rabbi, would he have been crucified? This man was a radical, and as radicals today, we would be well served by taking a page out of his playbook. It is for this reason that I am 100% confident that Jesus would sympathize with the socialist movement today and stand in solidarity with the working class as we remake our world for the better.